We have a very, very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. My name is Ashley. I'm leading my new program called Ashley Laura Coaching. I'm a transformational coach, and I'm here. I'm blessed. You guys found me on Instagram, and it was meant to be. I love your work. I got a great hit off of you guys, and I'm excited to work with you more and more and more.
Definitely. It's great to have you finally on the show. I know it took a little bit of time to get you on, but
there is a weird thing with the timing and the things, and then I get weird clients. Clients either disappear or fall from the sky. That's part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me how you got into the fitness world.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. COVID was a thing. I'm one of those people who had a big transformation during it. I've had a lot of careers in my life. I've now reached my 40s. I've had a lot of careers. I've had weird, everyone has. We've all been hurt. We've all had weird stuff happen to us. We've all had things happen, but at the time, I was a paralegal and I was working in the corporate legal setting. Things were getting bad. I was getting into my late 30s. Things were getting worse. I was developing more of a food addiction and an alcohol addiction because it goes hand in hand. It's just whatever makes you feel comfort and blackout, basically. I was in a 9-to-5 situation where it was clockwork. And a lot of people can relate to this. As I was slowly gaining weight and losing my health and reaching that 40-ish mark, this is before COVID, I was realizing that I was waking up in the middle of the night eating giant boxes of Sour Patch Kids, just drinking and eating and drinking and eating. Sunday at 3 p.m., 9-to-5ers can relate to this. Sunday at 3 p.m., that's when the depression starts. You're not looking forward to coming in the next day and being abused by a supervisor, being abused by someone, going into the bathroom stall and crying, doing something that you hate, doing something that you don't like because you were told by society that you're supposed to do that. And so when COVID hit, and everything hit the fan, I ended up rage quitting the whole scene and wanting to get into bettering myself, fitness, lost 50 pounds, dropped toxic energies out of my life, and then realized this is my calling. I want to help other people who are stuck because I didn't think that I was going to be able to get unstuck. And I'm not the type of person who thinks I'm the shit. I have the confidence, but the humble level where I notice that we're human, and social media is the fucker with this because it's great. People like you and me link up and now we're networking and network together forever. You do certain things, you meet certain people, you like, but it's also the death of you because when you turn on social media and you're looking and you want to look at either something or people or a specific person or anything, it's bullshit. All everybody is posting is, look what I'm doing. Look where I am. We all have to do it. You have to do it. I have to do it. We're all in business. We all have to do it. But it's bullshit because it messes with our mind. We're human and not everybody has a good day every day. Not everybody is confident every day. I feel like the people who exude nothing but, oh, confidence, 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 it's real, but it's bullshit. You're not confident every day. And that's part of my coaching with clients, to get them to understand that we're all the same. You know, if you have, like, if I post a picture from a photo shoot or something that I'm doing that's really positive and big and I'm getting a lot of traction for it, you don't know if I'm posting it while in my pajamas crying about some shit. You don't really know about it. So I think it's important to, with what I do, to let people know not to be intimidated by that when they look on social media and see this and that and this and that. It's bullshit. People are posting the best of the best. Everybody has days where they feel weak and they feel miserable. And one of the reasons why I got into fitness is because it doesn't just take motivation. It takes discipline. What happens is, if you feel like shit about yourself, somebody hurt you, something hurt you, you didn't get something that you wanted, it's a practice of being able to say, okay, fuck everything, push yourself, get the fuck up, go to the gym, take care of it. That's for you. And that is all you can do. And you do your best. And when I realized that this was an entire mantra that I should have gone by when I was younger. I gave up being a filmmaker. I gave up a lot of things because of fear and because, I'm not good enough and this and that. And that's why I think that fitness is so important, because not only does it help you reverse aging, I've reversed my aging. I was less healthy in my 30s than I am in my 40s. I looked older in my 30s than I do in my 40s, people say. I don't know. But my point is that I got into it when we were in lockdown, and I realized how miserable I was and the negative energy that was surrounding me. And something came over me, along with the fact that I have like rapid health issues and obesity in my family bloodline. And I saw myself as I was reaching 40 saying, wait, fuck this. I could go this way or I could go this way. And yes, we all fall off the wagon. I have fallen off the wagon a couple times since. The bottom line is, if we can be honest about it, we can be honest, and we can say, hey, we're not feeling really confident this day. We don't know if we're going to get all the success that we want, if we're going to get the relationship we want, if we're going to get anything. But if you realize that we're all together in the same boat, and we want to move forward, and you want to just push it out, fuck it, get back to the gym, discipline yourself, you're bettering yourself and your entire energy around you, and then you start gravitating what you want. So that's something that I learned in COVID, when I'm sitting there not being able to black everything out and go party and go this and go that, go on stupid dates, go on, I had to stay at home, a single parent, and it was hard. I split 50% custody, so half the time I was super alone. And it all built up from there, and that is how I got into the fitness industry. And everybody in the fitness industry has been so welcoming and so amazing, to the point where it's just, I know a lot of veterans in the industry, and I'm obviously not, but that's what makes me me. I'm a transformational coach because I had a transformation fairly recently in the past few years and got into the industry. So people can relate to that. And that is why I decided to change my whole life and make a whole thing about it. I don't know if that makes
sense. That's amazing. I mean, that takes a lot of gumption to do, and a lot of guts. And, you're right. You have to believe in yourself at some point, no matter what you're doing, and forget about whatever anybody else thinks about you. It's all about what you think about yourself.
Yeah, that can really trip you up. We spend so much time worrying about other people. What are they thinking? Are we good enough? none of it matters. And it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like I'm saying it's not normal to think like that. I fall into that too. I start to think, oh, am I not good enough for this or that or this person that? What is this person thinking? Why am I not getting this or that? Because we're human, and it's okay to take an off day. It's okay to go cry to your friend and be real about it. No, I'm not confident every day. No, I'm not an amazing superstar every day. And that's why social media is a bitch, because social media doesn't show that. And that's why I've tried to start putting little blips out of like, hey, today was a bad fucking day. I felt shitty about myself. I feel like I feel hurt about whatever. I feel shitty about myself, but I am pushing myself to go back and do something about it. And I just feel like that's more helpful for people, and I want to be able to help. I just want to be able to help.
Yeah, and there's not many people out there nowadays that aren't just out there literally trying to help people. Some people think it's a cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, a cash grab is only good for so much. It being real ends up more prosperous, and then the energy will bring you more of the cash grab, basically. So the whole look at me, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect all the time, isn't it doesn't work in the long run. It really doesn't, because it's not true. And
Exactly.
I'm in the social media. I deleted my Facebook because that was fucking too much drama for me. I may go back for business, but as far as social media goes, it is a fine line, because I'm not gonna post my shittiest. I'm not gonna post me in my pajamas crying, feeling run down, feeling like I'm I'm hurting for whatever personal reason. I'm not going to post that, but I will talk about it, and I will talk about in my coaching how nobody posts that. That's an entire that's what I talk to my clients about. It's a whole thing. And if you come to me and you say, "Hey, I relapsed. I binge drank, or I threw up my food, or I ate a thing of pasta and cried and what," but my goal for you is to get back on the wagon. The common mistake that people make, which I made when I was younger, is with my other careers, is, oh, well, I already went off the wagon, so now I'm going to just do my fucking thing for a while because it doesn't matter. I don't have to go. I can go back later. No, that's not how you do it. It's the same thing as when you know, if you fuck up and you're upset and you eat a bucket of fried chicken, and then you feel like, oh, this, I'm never going to get this job, or this person's never going to contact me, or whatever the fuck it is. We all have had the shit. People lie. People on social media act like, oh, I don't care about anything. It's bullshit. We all care about shit. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. So my goal is to let my clients know that they are not alone. And if you fuck up one day and you want to cry and drink a little bit of vodka and eat some fried chicken, here's the catch. You could either go off the wagon from there, or this could just be a rest day. You wake up tomorrow, you get the fuck back on the horse, because nobody else is going to put you on it but yourself. You can't wait for somebody else to fix you or help you. You can't. You can't be codependent in a relationship and wait for someone in a relationship to do it. You can't get a parent, especially in your 30s and 40s. You can't get a parent to do it. Everyone's old and drained and has their own motherfucking problems. You can't do it. You have to have that mentality where you have to love yourself enough where no matter what happens, no matter who's there to support you, you're going to pick yourself up the next day. You're going to say, I'm giving myself a rest day, and I'm getting up the next day, and I'm doing it. That's the same thing with diet. As a licensed nutritionist, is what I'm trying to tell people, is that it's better to go have that scoop of ice cream with your friends. Because if you don't, you're going to suppress it. Just like with feelings for anything, for family or relationships. You suppress it and act all cool and go like this, then you're fucked. It's better to just have that scoop of ice cream and have it and taste it, have it, and then tomorrow you're going on a specific new diet. And it's all behavioral. So I just want to help people
Exactly.
with that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you have to have every once in a while, whether it be nutrition or something else, you got to have that one day that's kind of like a break, so to
Yeah,
speak.
you kind of have to. It's part of it. It's like that's why people with the 12-step program, like the 12-step program works like a miracle for some people, but some people it spins them out worse. Because the whole thing is, I'm never going to do everything in moderation, nothing in excess. And I've had to be told that before, many times, too. Everything, because going from one extreme to another, it doesn't work. The last time I went off the deep end with certain things, and I was not in a good place, I just went cold turkey on everything, and it was like this and this, and that was good because that got me to a certain point where I realized I could do or not do without something. But people who get too obsessed, just like people who get too obsessed with a person, people who get too obsessed with a goal, it sort of backtracks you and hamstrings that. So it's all about balance and getting it right, and we don't always get it right every day. I talk about it and I coach about it, and people pay me to coach them about it. But in the same breath, I tell them that I'm not perfect every day either. I go off the deep end sometimes too. And I feel like a lot of these coaches out there and a lot of people out there, I don't want to say they're lying, but they're not talking about it. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing to let your clients know that you're like them.
Yeah, it helps the connection between people if they know, you're not perfect in any way, which nobody
Nobody
is.
is. Nobody's having constant success. Nobody's never been hurt. That's why I laugh when people are like, "Well, I'm scared to do this because I've, I've been hurt. And I've been let down. I've been hurt." Like, get in line, bitch. Get in line. We're all the same.
Yes, exactly. So you were touching on nutrition. What does the nutrition in your program look like?
Well, it really depends and is catered on the depending on the certain person. Like for certain weight loss clients, I get them and I behaviorally help them as well, but I help get them into the intermittent fasting because, in my opinion, that's the fastest way to lose weight. I used to I have lost 50 pounds before because I got overweight. Um, and I lost it through keto. What happened is I became obsessed with it and I couldn't get back on the carbs. On top of that, it heightened my cholesterol, my blood pressure, and all of the old lady Jewish people diseases that I'm prone to anyway, the pre-diabetic, everything. Well, I mean, it got rid of the pre-diabetic that I had with the sugar thing, but it upped everything else. And so it's not really sustainable. So I have certain different programs depending on the people. I know that some people, it's catered to them. Some people absolutely cannot do portion control, period. I am not great at portion control. I give portion control to certain clients, and I give them their containers and everything, and I label it out. So it's, this is the amount of greens you should have. This is the amount of protein you should have. This many palms. If you're going for bodybuilding or getting hypertrophy, I go for more protein. But for me, for my main program, there's certain things that I do. One thing is I have my clients once a week as homework find one healthy raw product, one healthy raw whole product, unprocessed, that they have decided that they have to go to the store and that they have decided that they like. And then they have to incorporate that into their diet every week. That has helped a lot of people mentally so that they're able to get motivated in the first place. Another thing that I do is I cut out the butter, because when I was in keto land, I realized that I was throwing piles of butter on everything. In the long run, once it's not sustainable and you need to build those carbs back, you're building carbs back, plus you have all the trans and saturated fat. And I'm not a spring chicken. That eventually gets with the aging. So I have these new little things that I show my clients, like and I can come to their house or do it on FaceTime or Zoom, where we replace butter, all the butter, with certain different. We have a sweet version and we have a salty, garlicky version of extra virgin olive oil that we jar up, and that's what you use. If you need your low carb toast in the morning and you needed buttery for your eggs, you use that instead. And that's actually helped people's numbers. It's helped people lower their numbers, and they're feeling completely satisfied. They're getting the fats. So that's one of the things I do in my program. That's two of the things I do in my program. And then the intermittent fasting is one of them. But it really depends on the person and what they're into and what they're not. Some people I take away the red meat. Some people I increase their red meat. To be honest, I've had more weight loss clients. I've only had one underweight client, and I put red meat on them. So it really depends on the person. As far as vegans go, that's a difficult balance, because once you're vegan, there's a lot of carbs. I myself had a dairy problem. I was eating piles of cheese. And I was in fitness. I couldn't get that one line in my abs. It was pissing me off. I had people tell me, every time I had a person tell me, cut the dairy out for 2 weeks, get ripped for your photo shoot, I got pissed off. I said, fuck you. I'm fine. I don't need to cut the dairy. I finally said, you know what, I'm going to try it. I tried it. I got all the lines. It worked. So what I'm doing right now, and what I have women, specifically women who I think have a body type like me, possibly my blood type, A positive, is I have them become more of a pescatarian and limit switch from creamer to almond milk, switch from sugar to monk fruit. So I'm into low sugar, not keto anymore, because that messes with people in the long run. And most people on keto, not everyone, but most people gain the weight back. And a lot of people, when you stay on keto forever, it's eh. And then here's another thing. People who like to drink, I'm just going to drink vodka every day instead of wine because it's keto. Well, now your liver is going to fucking fall out. I did that. I went through that problem. I thought, I'm just going to have vodka because I'm on keto. And then I was a drunk. That's no good. No one wants that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried the keto thing when I was losing weight, and it wasn't sustainable for me. I found that for me personally, eating more
Yeah.
protein kept me fuller for longer, and it kept me more energized throughout the
Good.
day.
Yeah. And if you get into weightlifting, if you get into this whole thing, the protein is what help sustain and build that up. The fat is, it's just, yeah, it's not sustainable. So for my program, I mostly up the protein down. I'm not, like I said, I'm moderation, not excess. I'll go. I think I'm supposed to meet a girlfriend for lunch today. I'm gonna go have a salad with a bunch of feta or goat cheese in it. Whatever. That's dairy. So it's not. I'm not Xing. I'm not completely Xing. I might go to Korean barbecue. I'm not Xing all the red meat out or all the this or all of that out. But it's all about balancing the macros, and it's about balance. Another thing is just pushing yourself to just pushing yourself to do it. It's not just motivation, it is discipline. Because it's not always fucking fun to work out. It's not.
Yeah, and I've heard that from people. I've got a friend that I work with at my full time job, and he says that sometimes it's not he doesn't have the motivation to do it, but then when he goes, it's totally different. When he's done, he feels better, and
Yeah.
the days that he doesn't go, he feels kind of sluggish
I
and
didn't go
slow.
today. It's Sunday. I feel worse. Yeah, you're right. It's completely it's a whole thing, and it also boosts up the serotonin level in you as well. And it just anything active, whatever you do, you have to have that initial push to do it. Just like a diet. The diets always start tomorrow. That's the worst part. The diet always fucking starts tomorrow. I'll just start it tomorrow. I'll start it Wednesday. No. Start if you have but I'll start it Wednesday because I have an event on Monday. It's going to be impossible to diet. I just went on a family vacation to Cancun. Fucking impossible to diet. You have to make it work. On a day where I fucked up, the next day I got up and went to the gym, and that was it. I crushed a gym for an hour before I hit the beach. It's just it's that whole mentality of it is a mentality of giving up when you say, well, I already had this ice cream and that ramen noodles today. So then I'll just wait till Thursday to start back up. So many people do that shit. That is the culprit. All you need to do is your best, even if on Tuesday you fuck up and on Thursday you fuck up, but Wednesday you're great. That is better than if Tuesday, give up Wednesday, and Thursday you're all fucked up those 3 days. It's math. It's just simple, and it's an entire thing. You don't think too much about it. You just say, I'm gonna do my best right now. If you fuck up, because you're human, just like if we might cry or might feel hurt, we're human, then get back on the horse at the second that you can. Don't say, the whole thing in your mental state is don't say, oh, I'll go back Tuesday. Fuck Tuesday. We might all be dead Tuesday.
That is true. Procrastination
Yeah,
is a
we've
killer,
all done
so to
it.
speak. Exactly. Yeah, you just got to find the one thing that works for you because I know everybody's different, and just be consistent and have that break. Whether it be on a Sunday or whatever your day off is, if you're
Yeah.
working a 9 to 5, just kind of relax what you're doing. That way, the next day, you're not still
It's
on
true.
that
I feel
bandwagon.
super bad for the 9 to 5ers. I am not a 9 to 5er anymore, but I did not like that. So as far as the 9 to 5 thing goes, I remember it's here. Oh, here's one thing. Everyone can laugh about this shit. All you 9 to 5ers, when you say, I'm gonna pack my lunch, this healthy ass lunch in my little Tupperware. You have a 9 to 5, right? Right. You
Yeah, oh yeah.
pack your lunch. I'm good. This is all I'm going to have. I'm going to have my little shake or my little fat burner fucking ginseng ginger shit. I'm going to have my little shake and I packed my little portion of my Tupperware. Your ass gets there. You're sitting there depressed as fuck. And you're like, it's 10 a.m. You're like, I'm going to eat this shit now at my desk. And then I'm going to order the food with everybody else at 1 p.m. And that is what I did so much at the 9 to 5. It was a whole thing. Even when I was still working a 9 to 5 when I had gotten skinny, way skinnier than I am now, and I was ketoing, but I still did it. I would still eat all those extra snacks in the early because you're sitting there and you're the same reason why people go fuck around at those 9 to 5s and go on their phone, check their Instagram, check to see the feed, because you're sitting there and you're trying to escape. And that's one of the reasons why in COVID I was like, woo, life is short, fuck this.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it's that way where I work. I work in automotive, and it can be very stressful, and then
Yeah.
stress will drive you to do
And then
wild
you'll
and
eat
wacky
the
things
lunch
sometimes.
at 9:30 a.m. because your ass is bored or bummed out. Then your ass is eating the lunch at noon. You're not really hungry, but you're going to pretend you're hungry because you're going to be like, oh, yep, it's time for lunch. It's all behavioral.
Exactly.
And I
That is
still fuck up
exactly
too. I
right.
still sometimes like, oh, I'll snack. But then I have to make it up the next day. It's just because we have to realize as humans that we're gonna fuck up. We're gonna fuck up with people. We're gonna fuck up with communication. The same thing with people. If you fuck up with a person, like, oh, I should have sent that, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. What are you gonna do? Be like, oh, well, now I'm just gonna drop off the face of the. No, you'll get back on the horse, and you'll be like, you'll make up for it. But you got to do the same thing with food.
Exactly. So, as far as the fitness thing goes, as far as working out in the gym, and what is your training regimen like there, and how do you teach that to your
To be
clients?
honest, I've lately had a lot of clients have me come to their specific gyms at their condominiums and facilities because that's the in thing. And some people are scared of COVID still, and blah blah blah. But I also train at studios and gyms as well. So you're asking what my regimen is?
Yeah, as far as I know, depending on the person, it could be different, but is it, could it be stuff from like weightlifting or
Yeah,
cardio
it
or
depends. What I like to do with a lot of people who want to lose weight and tone up at the same time is I get them going with the hypertrophy. So I get them going with the weightlifting. That's more sedentary. You're sitting a lot of the time. You're going like this, and I start them on heavier. What's heavy for them to where they fail at a certain number. Make them do a couple sets of that, and then I switch it to a lighter weight where they condition themselves. So I do the weightlifting first. Then after that, I put them on the cardio. Um, so so that they're not, if they did a lot of the times if you do the cardio first, you're too tired to do the toning and the weightlifting. So for people who want to get rid of excess skin, like drooping and skin, I have them do the muscle toning first, then the cardio. Sometimes I for some reason I've been falling into giving to training people on HIIT, where there's some weightlifting in it, but a lot of it is complete body movement. And the thing about HIIT training is the high intensity interval is that when they're getting toning in there at the same time and the cardio, but it's this high intensity cardio, and it sort of tricks your body so that when you're done with it and you're getting in your car and going to get your Starbucks bullshit or whatever the hell you're gonna do, I would recommend that you didn't after paying money to do a routine. But people are people. So the thing is, the whole thing about HIIT routines, which I write out a lot and I do a lot with my clients, is that when you're done with it, your body doesn't know you're done with it. So your body is still burning calories literally while you're picking up your phone, calling your mom, doing your thing, walking out the door, getting in your car. Your body's still burning calories. So it and off, it depends on people. Some people are like, I don't. a lot of people come in and they're like, it's hot. Don't fucking put me on that shit right now, which is fine. I'll put them on something else. Sometimes people are depressed, hungover, they had a breakup, something bad happened to them. So I said, hey, let's not waste the hour, but let's cater to your comfort level at the time. We're going to get on the floor on our mats and we're going to do some Jane Fonda shit. You know, and it works. It works and it's something. And it still makes progress. I mean, like, their clients are still getting trimmer and they're, you know, the hardest thing for me is I can't track what people do when I'm not there. So I say, how's your diet been? What have you been doing? What's your food journal? And people are like, oh, well, I got a pack of Newports by accident and I ate Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's nothing I can do about that. And there's no point in saying, you're a piece of shit. You fell behind. No, that's just, in my opinion, that's just going to push people away more. We just need to convince them and motivate them to get back on track. And usually after the workout, they're motivated. That's the thing. The more you do it, the more motivated you are. Just like when I was completely out of shape and when I was overweight, I didn't give a fuck what I did or ate at all. It didn't matter. But then once I started getting a place where people are like, ooh, look at you. You're starting to really tone up. That was when I wanted to, you know, get obsessed and go ham. So basically my goal is to get people to that point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, some people just need
sure.
that jump start.
And then some people just get obsessed with it and keep going. Now, things in life happen. You could have bad shit happen and then you go off the deep end. But then that's where mentally I like to talk to people via FaceTime or in person, but at FaceTime if they're not in LA, and motivate them to come back because I did it. That's the only thing I like. That's the main thing is I did it. I have been a complete fuck up. And I have no problem talking about that to the point where my own mother did not like it. She found out something that I posted and revealed, I did my Richard Simmons story. She didn't like it. Don't tell everybody that. What if you're in corporate? But you know what? Fuck it. I'm me. And if that's going to help one person, then I did my job.
Exactly. So, as far as we touched on you being on Instagram, I know that you have a website
I do.
also.
It's Ashley. It's all lowercase. AshleyLauraCoaching.com. It basically lets you contact me and do a free consultation. I'll talk to you for a half an hour over the phone, get to know you, or I'll do FaceTime if you want a face-to-face. And we work from there, and I'm pretty easygoing. Like, I want to go with what you're comfortable with, what you can do, what you can't do, because my main goal is helping people, period. Or else the money doesn't even matter to me at that point, because I could go do fucking something else.
Exactly. Hey, it's been a blast talking with you. I definitely want to do it again.
I'm down to do it again whenever you want. We're now partnered up. We're in touch, so let me know. I could do it. I could even be commentary. I like to talk shit. I'll do. Just add me and just include me in everything. And I'm also going to be featured as the new health and wellness transformational person at the Venice Art Crawl for Los Angeles people this coming Thursday, August 18th. Maybe we can talk after that or during that, or we can touch base or anything you want.
Sure,
I also edit and
absolutely.
do social media.
I'd love it.
I was just hired to do social media for another gym, so
there you go.
I love it.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and you know, I definitely we'll hook up again, see when we can do it again, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. I know you're
Yeah,
a
I'm
couple
just
hours
3 hours
behind me.
behind you, but I'm super blessed to have been able to finally connect with you and do all this. And I'm game. I'm on your team. We're good. I can't wait for things to come.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. Definitely, definitely. And I'll keep you posted as soon as it's ready to premiere. I'll shoot you a link,
Sounds good.
and
I
that way
cannot
you can
wait.
share it. Excellent.
All
Well,
right, I'll talk to
thank
you
you
really
very much.
soon. You too. Bye.
All right. Have a great day.